Next, we have more news on a certain game with plant-like creatures.
All right. Let's see.
Wait a minute. Collect more.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait. Pikmin section. Click. Hello. So, as I said, I have not had the time to do a full video. If you're watching this after the fact and you want to learn more about that, watch towards the end of my direct reaction. It's the second one after the stream crash. Basically, I haven't had time to make a full video, so I'm using this stream to talk about Pikmin and to do a video on it. A lot of people have been really excited about Pikmin 4. When Pikmin 4 first got announced, I was hype. I was like over the moon. I played all the games and I put out my Pikmin 4 video, and I really thought I was onto something, honestly. Like, most of the time, I have a lot of allowance for my ideas versus what really happens. Take Smash movesets, for example. It's like, you know, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to get some things right. I'm probably going to get the general, like, because the thing is with Smash movesets, if you get one core concept wrong, then the kind of branch off of that, you're wrong about all of that. But it's always good. Like, even if I'm not accurate with what I was thinking how it would work, the moveset's always good. I feel that way about Prime 4. Prime 4 is probably going to be nothing like the video I put out, but it's still going to be good. But Pikmin 4, people have been really excited for, and the more I've watched and the more I've thought about it, the more worried I've been. It seems like they're going way too far from the intended vibe of Pikmin, like the first three. And there's just so many elements that are taking away from the Pikmin. There's technical stuff I'm not happy with. There's just so many choices that really worry me. That I think there's a baseline of excitement over just, yay, new Pikmin game, and people want the game to do well, so we get more Pikmin. But I don't, like, are we willing to take a lesser Pikmin experience just so we get more Pikmin games? I honestly wouldn't. I would want them to take time and really make something, which, I mean, hey, they've taken enough time with Pikmin 4, but is this what they came up with? What I kind of want to do, I've had issues that I've kind of been writing down, and I want to go through the trailers and talk about some things as they pop up, and then I want to rewatch this new one because I think there's a lot to take in here. Honestly, we've gotten so little from this game, and the stuff that I've seen has not been reassuring. Our first big trailer, I will say, returning to a more human environment is very cool. It's what I wanted. The camera looks great. It's what I expected it to be. I think those are all cool aspects. I'm happy that they are kind of experimenting with this angle. Now, this person, and we'll skip ahead to this concept. I am like 50-50 on this whole idea of custom character. Because here's the thing, inherently, if you let me customize myself and put myself into a game, I'm going to like it. I made a little clay figure of myself in Pikmin because I thought it would be fun. Like, it's always fun to see yourself in the style. However, Pikmin is so character-oriented to me. Like, Alamore's logs are such a big part of the game that losing that, I think, is going to make the experience a lot worse. I think they're trying to replace that with finding the original rescue corps and finding the castaways, which I don't think are custom, but I'll have to look real close at this new trailer and see if we're seeing the same ones from before. Because if everyone would be custom, that'd be really weird. But I assume that's their intent. But like, I don't know. I just want Olimar to be. Olimar is one of the Nintendo's best characters, and it's weird that they've made him this like complete dope who just can't stop crashing on the planets and like is obsessed with treasure. Like, he's so much more in Pikmin 1 and 2. Not every game needs customization. Sometimes it's cool to just be with a good character, because it's like a lot of, again, I feel very misguided fans are like, oh, this will make you connect to your Pikmin even more because it's you in the game and you're making these decisions. And it's like, I think the magic of a player character that's a real character is not only are you putting yourself in their shoes, but you're also rooting for them. You feel bad when you suck at the game and you make them you make them fail or you make them feel bad. Like Pikmin 1, if you wipe out all the Pikmin, Olimar is like morose, and like that's great. It's great as a thing because you're like, man, I let Olimar down, and it's just so much more powerful. It's so much more interesting than just blank face, no reaction. I'll say this to go back to the Zelda thing real quick. One of my only complaints about Tears of the Kingdom is that it's more apparent than ever that Link isn't reacting, isn't emoting in an interesting way compared to a lot of past Zelda games. And it's like, what if you took that and then you removed any connection to the character of Link, and that's what you're getting here. Like, you're getting just these blank, no-faced Hokutations with no personality. But again, it's like, if this was the only bold choice they were making, if it was putting a custom character into Pikmin 1, 2, or 3, I could excuse that. But it's everything combined that it's giving me nothing to be like, ooh, but this could be cool, or like, this looks promising. It's like everything is concerning, and that's why it's been so wild to see people so excited over it, just outside of the pure fact that it's Pikmin. Also, I'll say this too. Going from 1 captain to 2 captains to 3 captains back to 1 captain and the dog is rough. That is a really rough call. Rough dog, whatever. I'm sure it's because they made this dog character for whatever reason. I'll talk about that when we get to it. And they're making it more of an adventure thing. The art style is more like you're running around, you're climbing, you're doing all this stuff. So they probably figured having too many characters in this really big world wouldn't work. And with the camera angle, the Pikmin are generally really tight to you. So if you had this whole big group, it might not work. It's just a whole lot of things where it feels like they made one choice that may or may not have been good, and then they built stuff around it that was worse, that made it worse. Not having multiple captains, and thus cutting out things like go here and like that jumping back and forth and managing things around the map and getting a bunch of things done at once. That's rough. Like, it just literally feels like a downgrade to the gameplay of Pikmin. Purely, truly, and simple, just a step back from where the series was going. I guess I'll talk about this real quick. It's not like the biggest gameplay thing, but like the onion looks terrible. And the Pikmin animation is awful. It's really bad. You can really tell if you go to like the website and you see the clips they're playing, and we'll probably see more, but it's like the Pikmin have like barely animation when they're running around, and you're closer to them than ever, so it's bizarre. Like, they literally looked like, my friend says it, like they're getting dragged by like a mouse cursor. They're just like just flying around the map. It's really odd. And it's like, why didn't the effort go here? Why did you stop caring about the Pikmin? I mean, that's, and like the areas, the enemies, they look cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it looks, the setting and the camera are exactly what I wanted. That's like the one thing where it's like, if this is what Pikmin's going to be, I'm excited. But I think those philosophies led to a lot of the things that I really don't like. Ice Pikmin. This is another like 50-50. To me, Ice Pikmin is a very fan choice. It's a very fan-made Pikmin thing. It's like so generic that when I saw this, I was like, dang, I really should have banked on this. Because it's a thing that's been in the Pikmin discussion for so long. And it's like, look, they freeze enemies, they freeze water. I think they have a lot of really cool, no pun intended, uses that like could be exciting. A lot of people have pointed out the kind of like biological thing, which I'm sure they're fuming after the new trailer, but we'll get to that. And it's like, yeah, why is this a sentient rock of ice with eyes? Like, it doesn't make sense in terms of Pikmin. I agree enough. It doesn't really bother me. My main thing is just like, it's interfering with blue, and it just doesn't add a lot. And it just feels like a fan idea that they're like, yeah, ice Pikmin, it's an element we haven't done, cool. And it's just like, it just doesn't really do it for me. This I like. In theory, I like this, because I said in my Pikmin 4 video that I want the Pikmin to kind of stay on tasks to like create opportunities in the world whether that's like the yellows staying on electrical circuits so that the power stays on, things like that. So ice freezing the water so you can do certain things. It's really cool. It sucks that you have this and you also have the dog who can take you across water, and it's like, why are the blues even here? Like, it's just weird. And then we have this thing. This atrocity. This doesn't need to be in the game. Stylistically, it doesn't look good. It's not an appealing creature. If this was a Bulborb, it'd be so much better. Like you get a tamed Bulborb. That's kind of cool. I would still not like what it's doing gameplay wise, because that's far more important than the design, but I would at least be a little cooler with it if it looked good. I don't like how it looks. But then the dog is breaking obstacles, it's attacking enemies, it's carrying things, and it's bringing you across water. It's like, what game are we playing? Why are we doing this in Pikmin? Like, let the Pikmin carry things, let the Pikmin break things, make new Pikmin to do these things. Like, let a bunch of blues be a raft across the water. I don't know. Like, that would be funnier and cooler than just jumping on this dog's back. Riding on this dog is going to be 90% of the game, it looks like. And I assume that was partially a compromise for how big the areas are going to be. This is one of the biggest things that I'm worried about for this game. Is it's like, games called Pikmin. There's been such a de-emphasizing of the Pikmin through the captain being able to do a little bit more. With the new types not being that interesting, and then especially with Ochi being like this kind of hybrid of Pikmin and Captain. They talked about this whole Dandori thing, and me and my friends were so excited that they were talking about this concept because it sounded like what we thought Pikmin was. And now we'll get to Dandori Battles, which is its own thing, but it doesn't feel like they're doing that. It feels like they're trying to make this new, different game that is completely changing the style of Pikmin and really forgetting the roots of like trying to build your Pikmin army to keep them alive and then to multitask with them. Like, how are you going to do more than one thing at once? I feel like they're going in a much more adventure style game, which, to be fair, I was worried that they would be going way too much into an RPG, the turn-based, like the RTS kind of thing with base management and upgrades, and they might still be doing that. But then there's also this element, and it just feels like it's trying to be too many things that aren't, to me, what is Pikmin. The bosses look great. Like, oh, well, I guess I should talk about the fact that caves are back in general. I'm not thrilled with that, because to me, caves were an absolute mood killer in Pikmin 2. Like, literally every other Pikmin game is like a pretty nice time. Like, you're just going through, and then it's over when it's over, and it feels good. Pikmin 2 dragged on for me a lot. It is padding, whether you like it or not, it is padding. So I hope they shrink down the caves and make them more concise challenges, kind of like what I said in my Pikmin video, because otherwise the caves tied with the gigantic world and presumably no day limit is going, like, the game's going to be 40 hours and it's going to be miserable. So we'll see. The only thing I want to say here is to kind of reiterate, why are we performing character assassination on Olimar? Like, again, I truly think he's one of Nintendo's best protagonists. I think he's very charming, he's very fun, and you want to do well so that he's happy. But it feels like they've just decided that there are Pikmin tropes that are fun to repeat over and over, and that they don't have to try to do anything else. Which is weird, because it's the first time they've done that, and so it's really noticeable. Because it's like, they were already kind of not doing right by Olimar, in my opinion, by having him like just constantly going out to get treasure. Like, he wasn't trying to pay off debt, he didn't crash land and was looking for parts. Like, now he just loves treasure and just keeps leaving his family for some reason. Whatever. Weird choice, but I guess it is what it is. So not only is that happening, now every Pikmin game just has to be, you crash land on the planet. Which is like, why? There's no reason. Like, they made allusions to something causing those crashes. And the whole Umibozu theory that I really like and that I incorporated into my ideas with my video. But now it's just, unless they address that in the game, it literally just seems like every game now is going to be, you crash land, and it's like, it feels like Princess Peach has been captured, you know? It's that same thing of like, what are we doing here? Why can't we expand on this at all? Why is everyone so inept? Like, even Pikmin 3, it's like, they had some reasons. Plus, they had the whole, like, the Plasm Wraith kind of, some implied thing going on there. But it's like, Pikmin 1, he crashed because it was his first time, he didn't know what was going on. Pikmin 2, they don't even crash, really. They get separated very slightly, but they dodge the asteroid. And then they can come and go as they please. The only reason you're there is to pay off the debt and then to go find Louis. So it's like, great, we've broken the cycle already. Why are we doing that again? It's so baffling. I don't get it. We now have new information. I had said before the direct, kind of to myself and to my friends, that this was a very make or break trailer. Honestly, I don't think it has been, but there's so much going on. I'm going to rewatch it and kind of comment as we go.
To a mysterious planet.
I love seeing these bosses. Again, it's like having them just kind of around is a good sign that this game will be more challenging, because I did think Pikmin 3 is a little too easy. And it does seem like the enemies have decent health bars. I'm hoping that they really wreck shop. Oh, I didn't even note this guy. Like a Viney Blowhog, something like that. He's kind of cool. It sucks that he's basically my my green Pikmin idea. I like him. That's a good design. Honestly, with the enemies we've seen so far, I'm pretty happy. Like, they've gotten that aspect of it down pretty well.
Adorable rescue pup, Ochi.
Hate him.
Good boy.
Shut up.
All right,
All right, watch the Pikmin move here. Let me. Hold on.
And have them follow you. Throw your little.
They look a little better. They look the tiniest hair better. It feels like you can actually see them ambulating, as opposed to just like robots on a track. A little better. I think they could still be a lot better for how tight the. Wait. Oh my God! I just saw.
Whistle to gather them.
Is your Pikmin limit 30? No way. No way. They would not. Okay, I'm being informed. I'm getting beep, 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 beep. I'm getting news that at some point the counter is 40. I hope to God. I hope to God that we can get that number higher, because I hope it goes up to 100, because are you kidding me? Like, if we're losing Captain's N Pikmin limit like for the first time since 1, like, that would be abysmal. All right. Let's see what we can notice. Pikmin movement is slightly better. Let's talk about the day timer. I like this day tracker generally. Thank God there's a day timer. If there was no day timer, then it would be dead game. It would be dead on arrival. Okay, so it might be something 24. Okay, so it's something like you're controlling your max or something along those lines. Like, it's showing how many of the maximum that you've taken out there are. I guess it's a weird way to do it. We'll see how high it goes. The areas look great. If you put, again, I really hate to be like this, but like, if you put my ideas into these maps, be perfect. I hate to be like that. I'm usually totally fine with accepting that my ideas are my ideas. It doesn't have to be like that to be good. I accept that with movesets. I accept that with Prime 4. I accept that with a lot of things. But this is, again, it just feels like they've got this bad framework that they've built on in amongst a lot of cool things like the map and the enemies. Massive areas. I do love this aesthetic. Again, I feel like vibe-wise, they're doing a lot of cool things. They're doing things that I wanted to see. It comes down to the mechanics and the story. You're still collecting these gems, so it's like a combo of the gems and the treasure, which is like, okay. I'm not crazy about it. It's very just video gamey. Oh yeah, I'm even looking at our Pikmin count. So we go up to 40, and then we go up to 45.
Unusual.
Yeah, we go up to 45. Okay. So what is our 60? Okay, looks like we're cool. I retract my the Wollywog is massive. So that's really good to see, though. I'm hoping the limit is still 100. It does look like, I mean, the camera's a little wider here, whether that's because of the enemy or the amount of Pikmin. That's good. That we're keeping. It looks like we'll still be at 100 Pikmin. Thank God. Watch the Pikmin movement a little more.
And even
There's still the animation's not. What's the carry look like?
more treasures are around every...
Carrying looks okay. I think the issue is there's a disconnect between the movement speed and the animation speed. And I think there's some disconnect there. I don't know which one has to go which way. It looks like this red down here is bald. It's just really funny to me. There's some disconnect that seeing a little bit more, I think I would get over it. It still doesn't look as good as like the other ones, I think.
Hey, wait a minute.
All right. Let's unpack this. This is one of the biggest things of this trailer. Is this really... So, okay, a little bit of context. Amongst some of the other things I've disagreed with the Pikmin community on recently, including general excitement for the game, there has been this bizarre theory that this game takes place in the bad ending of Pikmin 1. So in the bad, for if you're not aware for some reason and you're watching this video, the bad ending of Pikmin 1 is that you fail to escape the planet, the Pikmin carry you back to the onion, and you sprout. You grow it ends with like you grow a Pikmin sprout. And this guy's evil, so I guess his name is Prickman. But anyway, sorry. In my mind, I was like, that's stupid. They're not gonna do that. Because I had kind of resigned to this, like, they just don't care about the story. And it's like... And, like, they're not thinking that deep into it. They're not thinking about this weird timeline thing and this weird sequel prequel that Pikmin 4 is... that the fans were alleging to be. They're just going to say, oh, Olimar crashed, whatever. Now I'm worried I'm wrong again. Because every time I've talked about this game so far, I've thought... that the fan theories were really stupid, and this is so far a very fan-made feeling game. Honestly, a lot of the concepts are literally straight from videos that I have watched and me and my friends have mocked in the past, because we're like, this person doesn't get it. Like, what is this dumb idea? But this is troubling. This is a little troubling. And look, I'm not saying that the idea isn't cool. It's a really cool idea if you say that this is taking place after Olimar fails to get away. XCOM 2 takes place after the case where you lose in XCOM 1. And that's really fun. However, why are we doing this? Is it possible that this is Olimar has crash landed again and he's been infected by this thing and we'll have to save him or something? Because this is Olimar, right? We're not pretending that this is some character. It is really funny that we have a captain-sized enemy who is trying to use similar tactics to fight you, because that's literally the idea I had. It's literally the fucking idea, except for mine was based off of the Plasm Wraith, and like instead of being this like Captain Pikmin hybrid, it was a like kind of goo creature who was covering and stealing your Pikmin and collecting treasure for their own means. So it is very funny that I was like onto something in this tangential way. This dog is even worse than the last.
It's time for a Dandori battle.
What is this? What am I looking at? I think I blacked this out during actually watching the direct. What are we doing? What are we doing here, guys? Come on. All right, so let's try to break this down. We're on this ugly stage for some reason. Why this can't just happen in the world like I had wanted is beyond me. You have weird Pikmin Olimar who is brainwashed, and he's talking about the concept of Dandori, and you have to fight him. He says 1v1 me, and then you go into his private fucking COD lobby, and then you play them in Pikmin. The phrasing of this is so weird. Am I getting angry about this for no reason? Is this multiplayer? Or is this in the single player? Because they show the captain, but you get you have the weird Pikmin colors with the flowers to indicate the teams. And this is obviously based off of the battle modes of 2 and 3. I'll have to look at the website after this and try to clarify, because they phrase it like, no, it's a CPU talking to you. It's a CPU talking to you. This has to be part of the game. What's going on? What is happening? This is probably the angriest I've been about this game. This is such an okay idea that they have just screwed up. And that's what's annoying about so much of this, is that it's a bunch of ideas that are cool on paper that they took like the bad route towards, and it's all coalescing into this thing that I just don't like. And if you think this is cool, if you think this game is going to be for you, I'm not saying that you should enjoy it. I'm not saying that your idea of Pikmin is wrong. It's compared to mine. It's just like, what are we doing here? That's all I keep asking myself. What is this Pikmin game? What are we doing here? Something, I don't know what to make of that. It's not Louis, but they got a different suit than the castaways. I'm not sure what's going on there yet. Hold on, let's check. I need to check out these symbols. So you got Ochi. You got the guy in the background. You have maybe captain upgrades. What is the sun? Is it... So me and especially one of my friends who helped me do the Pikmin video, but we've been worried about the idea of missions in Pikmin as opposed to just doing your thing. And this is troubling. We'll see if we see anything. Why are you digging? We have white Pikmin. Okay, so my assumption is because there's so many Pikmin in the game. I'm trying to think of this from a game design aspect. Because there's so many Pikmin in the game, we are trying to have this dog who can do a lot of different things, so that if you don't have the right Pikmin at the time, you don't have to kind of like either go back and get more or like scrap it for the day. And you have this dog who can do a couple different things. They can handle water, he can handle attacking things, can handle digging, can handle carrying, things like that. He can heal you. That's my assumption. I don't like it, and also I think this whole thing is lame. But that's my guess.
Or build.
So that's the lab. Did we get to see a name of the other thing? No. So that's okay. So the gems are to upgrade yourself, I guess. It seems like all that they're going to be used for. So you find the gems to upgrade yourself. And then you find the treasure to do the ship and to do the main objectives, I guess. Some of these seem a little redundant, but I'm like not... There's also items, which is... I'm not sure about that. Set out for night expeditions. And it shows you going off in the ship. No, it's not a day timer. I don't think it is a day timer. It's a mission timer. Because originally I thought it was like, yeah, you get the normal color of the timer, and then the red is at night, and then you have that amount of time to operate at night or something. Oh, it really might... No, but why is there no... Why are you combining an open world and missions? Right? It hurts my brain. That's what this is, right? You talk to either the guy who gives you an objective for the daytime or a person who gives you an objective for nighttime. Also, glow Pikmin are the dumbest so far. Why are they ghosts? Yeah, they're just like some weird specific kind of all-rounder Pikmin, since you can't use them in the day, and it seems like you can't use the other Pikmin at night. I'm getting more news. Regular Pikmin could turn into glow Pikmin, which is, I mean, maybe like there is this weird hive thing.
Ochi by your side.
That boss looks cool. That boss looks Cool. I lied. This has been the most troubling, the most troubling of the of the things so far. Another suggestion doesn't necessarily indicate missions, but is there a timer when talking to castaways at base? That's a good question, and I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I don't think there is, and so you've made me even more worried.
You'll be able to do more activities back at base camp, which is right next to your spaceship.
Nope.
Train Ochi and teach him new skills.
I think it's mission based. And hold on, let's see. So that's the sun loco. Let's go back. There's the sun. I think it's missions. I think they've officially murdered the game in cold blood. Hold on here. I guess so. We've done this. Let's check out the website if we can. Strength and weight of 10 Pikmin. Stun enemies slower. Hopefully they've unnerfed them. Yeah, no, it's got to be missions. It's got to be. Listen, look at that. Take your time to prepare for the day's excursion. You can chat with rescued core members and castaways, accept side missions, and build new equipment to assist your expedition. Main missions. There you go. There you go. That's the proof in the pudding. Main mission: collect sparklium. I think wasn't that in Hey Pikmin as well? I think it might have been. There you go. It's mission based. Dead on arrival. So why are we even bothering? Like, oh, hold on. There's a lot to dissect here. Rewind and retry. Go sideways. No worries. Give yourself a do-over with the rewind time feature and try a different approach. So it's mission-based for sure. Again, confirming. Bring your ship to you. There are multiple landing spots for your personal ship. The SS Beagle. Yeah, everything's dog-themed, I guess. And in each of the expansive areas you can explore. Once you find a spot, you can freely land there. Helpful for cutting down time going to and from your ship. Why does it matter if we're on missions? Now, the best case scenario is that they're calling it missions, but it's kind of like adding an extra step to the beginning of the day. So, like, in the beginning of the day, normally in Pikmin, you're picking where you're going to go. And that's about it. And then once you get there, you're on the clock and you're picking what Pikmin you need to use and all that stuff. Considering this an extra step where you can now upgrade stuff, you choose what Pikmin you're going in with, but you're going to the same areas over and over. So it's still like you're dropping into a world that is continuing. And so if you're growing Pikmin, that's still there. If you were moving treasure, that's still there. And you still have these time limits, I guess. I don't know if we're talking full day or what the deal is. Seems like a really weird balance between selecting missions and then playing the normal game of Pikmin. Stay safe at night, easy prey. Every new piece of information I get, I'm like trying to figure out what they're doing with this game. Now I'm wondering, do you have a timeless overworld where you are going around collecting treasure and then night falls and you have to be careful? No. Maybe it's just talking about the end of the day of each mission. I can't even get my head here. I'm not understanding this combination of mission and day limit and big open world where you have multiple landing zones and growing Pikmin, but you have to protect them at night. I'm not following. All right, let's see this. There's been much confusion about this. Dandori challenges. Dandori is a practice centered around planning out things in advance and working efficiently. You know how the fucking game should be. You can even put good Dandori work for your daily life. Thanks. In your expeditions, you'll come across Dandori battles and challenges. Use your time wisely and efficiently to collect the most items before time runs out. So it's basically putting the time trials and the challenge modes directly into the game. And whether or not there's multiplayer, I guess we don't know. So that doesn't explain anything, but it clarifies a tiny little bit maybe. Bring a friend. 2 players on the same system can work together or battle it out. Dandori battle. Take on or team up with a second player to collect the most items before time runs out. Who will reign supreme? So is it its own thing? I just don't know. Is this its own separate thing? Because then co-op mode. Get help from a second player in the story mode. Using an on-screen pointer, your co-op buddy can throw pebbles at enemies to stun them and unleash helpful items from your inventory. Why? I mean, I had just kind of assumed that they would control the dog, which would be a much more, they've somehow made it even less fun. Okay. I feel like I should probably wrap this up and start my actual day.
Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4. Closing thoughts. Scared. Annoyed. I'm just not every trailer is not telling me here's how the game works. Here's what you're meant to be doing, and here's how we want you to play. This is the most helpful that any of these trailers have ever been, and I'm still confused. I'm still confused how there's this combination of a big open world with multiple landing zones and growing Pikmin and getting treasure, along with seemingly there being day and night missions, along with Dandori battles, whatever the hell that is. I'm not following. I just can't follow it. And again, if you're excited for it, it's fine. I'm not telling you to not be excited for it if you like what you're seeing, but it's like I can't follow you there. I'm not seeing what I like in Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 here, which is to grow your team, to grow your Pikmin numbers as strong as possible, to be presented with a challenge and a set time limit and be like, okay, I gotta do this, this, and this, and like this is the best way I can play. You know, Dandori, the thing that they continue to use in a game that is showing me no Dandori. I'm not getting it. And by that I mean I'm not understanding the game. Maybe I'm not getting the game. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. That's a lot of tough stuff. It's a lot of brutal stuff. And you know, there's Nintendo games that let me down that I don't care that. Like, it's like Mario Strikers. Am I bummed that game really isn't anything and it could have been so much better like the originals? Yeah, absolutely. That's a bummer. But this is like, the Switch has been so good for mainline titles. Like, you got Odyssey with Mario, and maybe the new 2D one is going to be really cool too. You got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with Zelda. You get Dread with Metroid. You got Forgotten Land for Kirby, which I haven't played yet. I've heard it's really good. Looks like the best Kirby, like, generally speaking, in terms of like being a different kind of accessible adventure for people. You got all of these really definitive versions of games on the Switch. You got a bunch of super good ports. Now we're getting Pikmin 1. Oh, the Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 are going to be on Switch. That's really cool. And then now there's this. And it's like, it feels like the same kind of thought of like how to best improve the feel and the gameplay of the Pikmin series has not really been considered, in my opinion. If you're watching this after the fact, then if you want a little bit more context, then I have 2 streams from my direct reaction. The stream crashed in the middle. So there's the first half and the second half. The second half has Pikmin. The second half also has me kind of explaining why I'm doing this. This is not my usual style and quality of video, but because of other responsibilities, such as making an album, doing all the production for an album for my band, I haven't had time to do Room 100 stuff. I would like to get back to it. It probably won't happen for a little bit, if we're being honest. Streams are a good excuse to kind of jump back in, which is why I'm doing this and why I'm choosing to make a separate video out of a stream. It's just basically the same chunk of time. And I'm already set up and whatnot. So, you know, if you want to stick around and check out my more kind of like edited and put together videos, please do. I have a video on Pikmin 4 before we learned a bunch of stuff. So if you want a little bit more context as to why I'm so unhappy with this, as to what I think Pikmin is, then you should go check out that video. Either way, whether you watch live or watching the recording, thank you for watching. We'll see how things go with Pikmin 4. And I will see you around at some point. Thanks for watching. Bye.